Okay, guys, a couple of weeks ago, I was working out with the Serious Steel resistance band bar, and I had two bands fail on me within the same workout. To be fair, they were the cheap eBay resistance bands from, I think they were called X Fitness. I recommended them because they were decent bands while I used them, but I hadn't used them that long. But they did feel like they were giving great resistance, and I thought they were going to be durable. So I'm not sure if it's because of, I mean, I had two fail in a row within the same workout. So I'm not sure it's because of the bar, which I still doubt because I know there was a comment that said that it looks like it's a sharp edge, but it's not that sharp. It's actually a blunted and rounded over here on the end. So I still have my doubts whether or not the bar is a contributing factor. And the other thing that I used was this resistance band board. This is my original resistance band board. This is actually the second board that I bought. The first one being the Fitmilia board that I had bought many years ago by a company that's no longer in business. But this one actually was my first board to have in my what I call my away gym. I'm in my away gym now. This isn't the basement gym that I usually work out in, but I use this as my secondary space if I need to be away from that gym. So anyway, what I have this time is I have my Westside barbell bands, which have a good reputation. I did have a Westside barbell band break before, but I think that was more me than the band. I did put that band through the ringer, and I may have abused it in some ways. But these bands I've used, pretty respectfully, and I've had these bands about, I would say, less than a year, maybe around a year. But these are durable bands. So what I'm going to do is I don't really hold back when I work out. So I'm going to do another normal workout with these bands. That's what I was doing with the ones that broke. I'm going to do as if I'm doing I don't really, when I'm testing a new band, I just do my regular workout. So I don't really hold back. I don't try to baby the bands. I want them to resist I want them to take anything that I can throw at it. And if they break, that means they're not good enough for me to work out with. So these are the Westside barbells. They've taken everything I've thrown with them so far for over a year, or not over a year, for about a year, maybe a little less than a year. So I expect these to hold up. And if these hold up, then this band is exonerated from being the guilty party in why those bands broke. Remember, those are the bands that I was using. They're called X Fitness. They're not a known brand, so it's very possible that I got scammed with those bands. But even though they did feel good, I'm surprised, and they felt like they were they were maybe slightly less quality than maybe the Serious Steels or the Clenches or even these Westside barbells. But you live and learn. So if these hold up, then I can only say that those bands were no good, which is my current theory. So let's check it out. Okay, here you see me doing bent over rows. This is the exercise where the X Fitness bands failed. As you can see, I'm already going past rep 5. I don't even think I made 5 reps with the band before it snapped. Now I see that I'm actually using the band. I would consider this backwards because it's actually really hanging on the thread by the hook. And who knows, that might have been what caused the rip, but I think I would prefer to have the band on the inside of the hook rather than the outside, because that looks like it's a recipe for disaster and slipping. But other than that, this band, that's the Westside band, that's holding up well. And I did about 30 reps on that one. And then on this set, I think it's about 20. And here's where I did, okay, so I see what I did. Before, if you rewind back the tape, the band was pulling on the front side, and it looks like I just reversed it so that it pulls on the back side, on the inner side. I guess if I'm aware of what I'm doing. That also helps. So here, yeah, I did about 20 reps, and you can see I'm starting to fatigue a little bit. Now remember, with the X Fitness before, I failed also within 5 reps. So here I'm doing 30 and 20, no problem, and pulling as hard as I can, almost to failure. Okay. Whew. Okay, I was also asked to show standing shoulder presses, but I typically don't stand doing the shoulder presses. I switched because I feel like I have more control of the bar when I'm kneeling. I will, I promise, do a standing demonstration next time. But since this is a real workout. Sometimes when I film, I don't do it during a real workout. I'll do it like a demo workout. But this is a real workout, so I'm going to show you actually how I do my shoulder presses with this. I bought this pad from Timo for my knees, and it also has the added benefit of giving just a slightly more resistance, but also the width of this this board here, the Primitive Fitness board, and that comes from Hybrid Resistance, by the way. If you look on Etsy, you look for Primitive Fitness, you'll find I think you'll still find them there. But anyway, I digress. Let me show you how I do the shoulders. Okay, so one thing I have to say, this is actually my first time doing this. I'm just realizing with this bar, I was using my tri bar, and then at my home gym, I use the Carbon Pro. So this is actually my first time doing it, but I don't think it's going to be any different than using the Tribe. So what I do is I kneel and basically press up like that. Oh, great. Okay, so what you saw there was me looking into the camera because I'm able to see myself while I'm doing my workout, and I had to close in on the upper half of my body because that shirt that I'm wearing, I don't know why I still like that shirt, but it's way too tight and my belly's hanging out and it looks really gross. So rather than disgust you, I will just let you focus on the movement instead of being distracted by the belly fat that is sticking out of the bottom of that shirt. But anyway, again, these are the Westside barbell resistance bands, and they're holding up. They're holding up with my shoulder presses there, showing us once again and ultimately proving that it looks like it's the faulty bands that were the issue. Okay, so that was 25 reps. They felt great. And they don't feel any different than the Tribe. The one thing I do like, though, is with the Tribe, I had a little bit more space down here, whereas with this, with the Serious Steel, you're very close to the bar, so that means you're getting more tension when you're doing these reps. So these felt a little heavier than usual, even though I did 25. I mean, I think this is really my first set, so then I'm going to go into my second set, basically. Here's the second set with the green band. Okay, again, I'm sparing you from the gut shot. But anyway, with the green band, again, no problem. I prefer doing the presses on the knees because with standing, you're stretching it really to the limit, and I think it's almost stretching it too far while you're standing. I think you get a lot more use. I would rather just use a thicker band and get more resistance rather than stretching the band to the limit. So that's what I'm doing there. Woo! Oh, that felt good. 15 reps, but yeah, the Westside are definitely more challenging than the bands that I was using. I do high reps with these, but yeah, you can definitely feel it with these. So, I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Again, the verdict is in, basically. I did two workouts, a back workout and a shoulder workout with those bands, with the same board, with the same bar, and the bands did not fail. So I'm only led to believe that it was the actual bands that were the failure point and not the bar or the board or anything else. I mean, I've been using friction on the board for about almost 2 years now. So I do have a Harambe in my home gym, but it's, you know, I still use my friction boards, and I with other bands I have not had a problem. So again, I can't recommend the X Fitness anymore. They felt great at first, but if they break, they're not a good band.